Sir, there's a widespread desire to incorporate DE&I across the American landscape. What does the Department of the Air Force hope to achieve in incorporating DE&I policies?
So for all of you out there, I ask you to set out your symbols of pride, share your pronouns in your email, particularly if you're a person who doesn't think they need to.
Many of you may be wondering what I'm thinking about current events surrounding the tragic death of George Floyd. Over the course of the last year, our Air Force has made great strides, reviewing and improving our diversity inclusion policies and practices.
Sir,
there's no widespread concern about DEI in the military. There's a General Kevin Schneider, I believe from the Air Force Academy. This isn't old. DEI is important. He talks out of his ass, of course. How does it help us? Well, it doesn't, as we know. Stand by. Thanks for being here.
Widespread desire to incorporate DE&I across the American landscape. What does the Department of the Air Force hope to achieve in incorporating DE&I policies?
Yeah, I think the short answer on that, we could go way deep on this, but the short answer is
deep.
We want the best, most capable force that we can get. And we're trying to eliminate the barriers,
So the best, most capable force has nothing to do with DEI. Zero. Could be all Asian short women that are the best pilots. You fly planes. That's not what they want. They want to force in, like you saw a second ago with the individual with the long hair at Space Force, the colonel. They don't want the best. They want to jam shit into roles. I'll link to a video I did here before with them saying that. They were going to fire 4,300 white pilots to make up for Pacific Islander pilots. You see, this is worse.
In the doors and making sure that, that we can do that. We can have the best, most capable force that our nation can provide.
How often do you feel the dollar is just not as trustworthy as it used to be? How can ordinary Americans like you and me plan for the future when our savings might be at risk? It's one asset that has historically protected and diversified our wealth, gold. No matter how volatile the economy gets, gold has been a reliable store of value. And now is the perfect time to take action. That's why I partnered with Goldco. They will help you protect and diversify your retirement with gold or silver IRAs, which can help shield you from inflation and dollar devaluation. Goldco makes it easy to roll over retirement savings tax and penalty free. And the process is quick and painless with their white glove treatment and expert guidance. They also offer direct purchase of gold and silver. I personally trust Goldco for all my gold and silver purchases. Go to www.jamesonlikesgold.com. Go to the link in the description to get your free gold and silver kit from my partners at Goldco. So take action, defend your freedom, your privacy, and your future. Thanks to the sponsors at Goldco.
And I think all too often that we have had limitations, either policy limitations that are provide barriers, or we have not done the work with the American public to highlight the opportunities that come with military service, or specifically.
What are you talking about, dipshit?
So we are getting after both of those. And ultimately, that's really what DEI is getting after. Not identifying the barriers that are currently exist, getting messaging out to the public as to what opportunities do exist, and then just drawing the talent that we need to continue to excel as a force.
We've seen DEI. They force feed in people who don't belong. That is the bottom line. They force feed in groups of people, we'll call it, who don't belong. You saw the Ranger School video I did here, how they push women through. I mean, how many times, if you work with somebody who's a DEI hire, you know it, because they're not good. If you look at their skin, or they're a woman, or they're some sort of ABC, you're like, why are they in charge of us? Well, right there. The Supreme Court Justice, Jackson. I'm hiring a black woman to be the Supreme Court Justice. Not the best one. That was Biden.
And sir, given that you are director of staff, do you have any guidance or input for CGOs on how do we better understand when we've made considerable gains with respects to diversity, equity, and inclusion?
This is the answer probably to a number of questions, and I don't mean to shortchange it by giving you this almost of a platitude of an answer.
Spit it out, stupid.
When we can stop having meetings about it, or when we can stop having specific focused discussions on it, and it becomes part of our DNA, then we've achieved success.
What the fuck does that mean? It's part of our DNA? You hire the people who want to go. First of all, who wants to go in? And out of that group, who's the best to fly planes, do computer shit, fuel jets? That's the pool you got. You're not going to thrust people in to fuel jets who don't want to be there, to fly planes. No, they are. That's what they're doing.
But I do think that that's one of those things that we're going to have to continue to address. We're going to have to continue to get after it. We are dealing with human beings, either human beings that want to join the Air Force or human beings that are in the Air Force that may not fully grasp or understand where we're going with DEI. So I do see that as an issue for leadership. I see it as an issue for leadership at all levels that we're going to have to continue to message. We're going to have to continue to dialogue. And maybe those are the...
There's a fella. Can't remember his name. I'll see if I can find it. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, carried the nuclear football. He said, DEI has been thrust in, pushed in. It's making us ineffective, less lethal. He was fired immediately. Just, you're gone. This guy's lying to you. It's not making us better. It's making us worse. We got to have people with common goals. Now, if you're whatever you are, it's unique, but you're good, who gives a shit? That's not what they're doing.
The wrong verbs. I think we're just going to have conversations.
No,
So a quick war story, not that you asked for one. When back in Japan at the last assignment, when the Secretary of Defense provided guidance and direction about having essentially a stand down to talk about diversity and inclusion issues, I met with the...
Now he's the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, of course, the guy I had to start with. Stand down to talk about diversity, equity, inclusion issues because of George Floyd. Whoa, we're getting along here in Japan. We're doing just fine. I don't have a stand down. What does that mean? They get the weekend off, cry closets? Well, of course it does. It's not about how effective you are. It's how many people can thrust into positions that don't belong there.
The team that was my front office. And the dialogue that we had over that 90 minutes was eye-opening to me. And,
yeah, I bet.
I will admit that was a flaw or a shortcoming in my own understanding of the people that I work with on a day-to-day basis. But until I had that conversation where I really didn't say anything for 90 minutes, and it took probably about 30 minutes for them to really feel comfortable talking in front of me.
So a Mal struggle session. Imagine that. He just simping, man. Does he have a different opinion? Sure he does. Can he say it? No. He wants to go work at Lockheed Martin when he's done. He's not going to say anything. What's going to happen with Trump elected? Is he fired immediately? How does he switch? This is a genuine statement. He believes in DEI. It's important to the mission. It's the most important thing. I've heard that. Diversity is our greatest strength, right? Diversity what, though? Is it thinking? Absolutely not. Is it? I mean, there's always been diverse when I was in. Long time ago, right? About a third. Black, Hispanic, white. No one cared. And now all of a sudden it's a big issue, nonstop. Somehow it's supposed to make it better, which it's not.
And opening up. But I learned more about them and the issues that they were dealing with on diversity, equality or equity and inclusion that really reshaped in a positive way the relationships and the framework for that. And that's not something you can just do once. You have to.
Jesus H. Christ, this is shit. This is relatively recent. And this guy, General Kevin Schneider, thinks that's the most important thing for the military. When they push DEI, worse recruiting gets. People don't want that shit. That's not when they sign up. But this simp here general is going to jam it down your throat. Even if Trump comes in and says, we're not doing that, it's going to take a long time to unravel that. We had 8 years of Obama pushing this shit. We had Miley pushing this. Remember? He wanted to understand his white rage. We got this guy. Unbelievable. No other military does this kind of stuff that wants to win battles, win wars, be effective. End of story. Thanks for being here. What do you say? I want to hear your comments. More DEI, is it good? Put good DEI or bad DEI.